the home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads.
They're going to make me do it. They're going to make me do it. They're going to make me do a slightly political topic here with the whole Brittney Griner situation. That's a Captain Obvious thing that most normal people with common sense that don't go around making excuses. Most common sense people would know better than to do what they're doing with Brittney Griner. Let's talk about it. Well, here we are again. It's another episode of the OCF. That's me, JPC. That stands for the Outlaw of College Football. You can also find me on Twitter at OCF Productions. And if you want to holler at me on Facebook, the JPC stands for Jesse Paul Clark. Now, getting right into it here. I hate to get into this kind of subject because every time I do one of these topics that has a slight tinge of any kind of political or politicizing to it, you get people here trying to shout you down and label you with untrue labels and whatnot just because of, my white skin color, which makes them racist, by the way, because they judge me by my skin color. But I'm not going to really go into a long, lengthy rant on this, but I'd just like to say that trading a basketball player that went over there and broke some laws in a foreign country for a guy called the Merchant of Death, I think his name is Victor Bout. This guy is an arms dealer, and he was responsible either directly or indirectly for killing thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people. So you mean to tell me that it's worth giving up that guy for a basketball player who broke some kind of marijuana laws in Russia? Why? Why, Joe? Because of all the pressure you're getting from the liberal people? Y'all gonna have to get away from that shit, man. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, liberal, independent. It doesn't matter about your political party labels. Political party labels make for corrupt loyalty. And that's why we got to get away from that shit. But nobody listens. Oh, well, I'm a Democrat. Oh, I'm a Republican. So what? This has nothing to do with that shit. Don't give a guy that's responsible for murdering people to somebody that broke a marijuana law as a basketball player that don't even like this country. Although that really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. It's just not a good trade. It don't make sense. And Joe Biden's just doing it to kiss ass. And that's why he's not going to get reelected. Because people can now see right through you, Joe. Everybody can see through you, Joe. I have no issue with going and getting Brittney Griner out of jail and getting her out of that foreign country over there. But if you're going to trade something, you need to have an equal trade. And that's not an equal trade. Now, if you were to trade Brittney Griner for a guy over here that maybe he's a Russian nationalist that got convicted of, I don't know, marijuana charge. Pretty Captain Obvious, right? That would be equal. This is not an equal trade, man. It didn't make no sense to make a trade like that. So you can free this guy so he can start killing more people, right? And the thing that really dawned on me the other day, I heard some people talk about it, but it didn't dawn on me, I heard them talking about it, was the fact that if Brittney Griner is unlawfully detained as they put it, to try to get around this whole thing. You know, to be able to trade for somebody, they have to be unlawfully detained. If she's unlawfully detained for her marijuana charges, then why isn't about probably hundreds of thousands of people in prison detained on drug charges for marijuana? I'm not talking about all the hard stuff, but people detained for selling marijuana or smoking marijuana. Why are they being detained here in America? Are they unlawfully detained too, Joe? If you're going to free Brittney Griner and give her a free pass, what about these people over here in our American jails that are being detained for marijuana? Shouldn't you free them too? See, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all so freaking hypocritical that it just makes me irate, man. And like, once again, has nothing to do with me being Republican or Democrat or independent or liberal. It has nothing to do with that. So don't come here and try to play that card, or he's got to be a Trumpster. No, I voted for Obama the first time. I didn't vote for him the second time, because once you do something, you mess up, you gotta learn from your mistakes. I used to be a Democrat a long time ago, but once they let the liberals hijack that party and they make it all about labels, man, I got away from that shit, man. I don't like politics at all, but when they drag it into my sports and they make it a known issue that they're putting my country or other countries at risk over politicizing shit and trying to get votes, well, then it pisses me off and I have to come in here and say something, you know. And I don't want nobody coming here trying to race bait either, because if you do, I'm just going to kick you off. I'm just going to block that shit, man, because I'm tired of that crap, man. Quit trying to play the race card with everything. Because what it makes you look like is it actually makes you look like a racist, because you're judging someone that's white by their race. You're basically saying, because you're white and you have a different opinion from me, you're racist. Well, ironically, that's you judging me by my white skin color, and that ultimately does what? It makes you actually the racist. And that's all I got to say about that. If you don't mind, there's a little hard option under here if you hadn't got pissed off at me already and maybe unsubscribe because you're maybe a liberal or something and you're just that damn pissy. If you don't mind, a little hard option down there. It says thanks, hit that, drop a few dollars in the coffers, get me off the YouTube teat. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams, class is now dismissed.